I watched a YouTube video entitled Police Unlock AI's Potential to Monitor, Surveil, and Solve Crimes. It was posted June 4th of 2019, so it's not that old. It was also posted by the Wall Street Journal's YouTube channel. So I don't know if that gives it any credibility, but it's more credible, I guess, than other sources. Again, that was Police Unlock AI's Potential to Monitor, Surveil, and Solve Crimes. So the video was discussing ways that the police are using surveillance tools to monitor the public and some of the different concerns that it raises when the police use different kind of surveillance equipment on the public. So I'm going to just briefly talk about some different things that they said. I'm going to jump around to different ideas and things that it made me think of. At one point it said that they track patterns of behavior. Cameras will train itself using AI to spot unusual movements. You get flagged if you do anything out of the ordinary. And that's one of the scary things. Like, you don't even have to be doing anything wrong and it flags you because you're doing something that's out of the ordinary for the area or for yourself or whatever. And you're getting attention put on you. That doesn't seem right. That seems like a road that we don't want to go down. Like, could it help people to know that, there's something happening out of the ordinary? Could it help police? Yeah, but you have to pay attention to the road that you're going down. You don't want to have some 1984 kind of thing where everything you do is scrutinized by some artificial intelligence to make sure that not only are you doing something legal, but it looks like everyone else, Another point, they use the phrase electronically hunt him down to find somebody. So just thinking about the phrase of electronically hunting someone seems like, I don't know, dystopian or something. And I was thinking about all the different things that they were talking about, all the different ways that police or the FBI, CIA, whoever can surveil you. They have audio, visual, all kinds of different things. And with the new, everybody has a camera. They can hack into the cameras. The police wear body cameras. They have surveillance cameras everywhere. They can hack into, or not hack into, but they can just get the tapes from businesses. They have drones are going to be more and more popular. They have satellite imagery. I don't think that that's a big one yet, but I think that can really cause I think that the CIA, FBI, the military, they use satellite imagery a lot and live feed and stuff, but it's not really a police thing. But I think it could become more and more. Also, I was thinking about, so if you're being surveilled all the time by all these means and it advances to a far enough level, then there's going to start being more and more anti-surveillance equipment used. And then all these wealthy people are going to have anti-surveillance technology on them so they can live their life autonomously. They can do whatever they want to do while everybody else has to live these strict lives and follow these more and more increasing laws. So that's another thing I was thinking about. I think that people are not really that concerned with their privacy. I mean, you're kind of concerned with it, but really, if somebody infringes on your privacy electronically, if they take your data or whatever, it doesn't really affect you unless they take your money or something. But if they're just collecting your data and see what you're doing, you don't care. But people aren't going to care until that it's too late. Surveillance brings up issues of privacy and rights versus independence and autonomy versus safety and security. That's a whole nother thing that I could talk about for a long time. There needs to be checks and balances with the surveillance state or whatever, but there's not. You could list a bunch of things, but I don't see anything that's effectively adding checks and balances to the police surveillance. They can pretty much put in place whatever they want. They have to make sure that they don't make it sound bad, but as long as they make it sound decent and people aren't that afraid, then nobody's going to care. They talked about surveillance state on steroids, accidental racism. So they're training artificial intelligence to track crimes and crime areas. Well, if that happens to be one racial group or whatever, then there's issues there about what people groups that it's tracking. It becomes that artificial intelligence becomes overly concerned with tracking a certain people group, which really is bad. Also, they're starting to use artificial intelligence in trial cases, and they brought up that accidental racism kind of issues as well. Mass surveillance. People can become afraid to do things because, like, oh, I don't want to do anything because it's out of the ordinary. I don't want to do anything because I'll be flagged or tracked. So that's a big thing to think about. Drone surveillance. They collect past crime data. So it brought up if somebody calls 911, they can. It brings up calls for service, and cameras within 10 miles start recording historical footage and surveil the entire area within a 10-mile zone. Facial recognition. It talked about that, and like that's a big thing in China right now that they have those social point system based on facial recognition. And I saw this one documentary where there was a Chinese reporter or newsman, and he wrote something that wasn't flattering to the government, and they flagged him, and he can't fly, he can't go anywhere. So, I mean, that's the road that we're leading down if we don't have the right checks and balances in place. And all of this has to do with information security in a lot of different ways, but it's more of a broad kind of thing. Policing, privacy, technology raising surveillance and privacy concerns. They had a real-time crime center, but I saw like the crime center, it had all these monitors and everything, but it only had like one person monitoring it. So I don't know how effective it is. And like bringing up past data, like if they want to get you for something, like if you're like a newsman, like they said, and you say something bad about the police department, then they can bring you up and look in your past and like look at your past data and try to figure out what you've been doing, even though like it shouldn't be that way. Let's see if I have anything else. That's all. So the video was 10 minutes and 41 seconds, and it brought up a lot of issues that I thought was interesting. Thanks.